From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Tuesday, August 18th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana. As the pandemic continues, the U.S. Surgeon General tells WRTV he's worried about more than the spread of COVID-19, the concerns he has about the upcoming flu season.
This is a problem for several applicants. People are about to get evicted.
Now that the rent moratorium is lifted, many are seeking rental assistance from the city of Indianapolis. But some viewers are reporting problems with the system. WRTV is working for you to get answers. And in Morgan County, churches are working together to help families in need.
It's been a game changer for us.
I'll show you how their generosity is bringing hope and what you can do to help. Here at 6 o'clock, we want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey, and I want to say good morning to my friends Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez, who's at home at his studio in Johnson County.
Lauren, good morning to you. If you step out the door here in Johnson County, it is dry, but our good friend Todd Clausen, he is tracking some rain on the radar north of Indianapolis. Todd, good morning to you.
Yeah, Rafael, good morning to you and everybody else at home on this Tuesday morning. As Rafael mentioned, some rain showers across parts of the area, mainly north of Indianapolis, although some of those rain showers now starting to make their way into downtown. And you can see a little bit of moisture on the lens there as you look from downtown to the north on the WRTV Weather Now camera network. So we're dealing with rain showers and a temperature of 66 in Indianapolis. But Bloomington, it's been dry for you all morning long, 67 degrees there with partly cloudy skies. And here's where the rain is falling. Notice Muncie into northern portions of Henry County, into Prairie, Newcastle, Anderson, some decent rain. Noblesville, Carmel, you're getting your second round of rainfall. And then as we come into portions of Greencastle, Bainbridge, some decent rain. And then in and around the metro area, some rain starting to move in. Decent rain in Speedway as well as down by the airport there in Decatur Township. Heavier showers will be moving into Indianapolis here shortly. With all that said, as we work our way throughout the course of the day today, the showers will come to an end here this morning. It's still probably mostly cloudy by the noon hour with a temperature of 73, but then we'll thin the clouds out. Becomes a beautiful evening, so just be a little bit patient for these showers here to move through this morning.
All right, Todd. Well, this is a look in the downtown area at I-65, a view near St. Clair Street between the north and south splits. And you can see what Todd's talking about, the rain there. It's making it difficult to see too much here from our cameras, but just use caution as you're traveling into the downtown area due to the rain falling right now. Overall, good news, though, no crashes to slow down your commute on this Tuesday morning. Working for you, WRTV is getting answers for renters who are having trouble applying for the financial assistance program here in Marion County.
Alyssa Donovan is working this story this morning. She joins us live with all the details that you need to know. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning. The rental assistance program here in Indianapolis is for people who have either lost their jobs due to the pandemic or are working fewer hours and are not able to pay their rent and make ends meet and aren't depending on other assistance programs. Now, as the city launched this program last night, they received an influx of applicants. Just in the first 3 days alone, they received 10,000 people applying for the program. Now, some of those applicants are having issues. The moratorium on evictions ended last week, making the situation more dire for some residents concerned about making ends meet. We spoke with Kimberly Thomas, who says when she finally received an email with a code that her landlord needed to complete her application, another problem popped up.
They tried to go in and process it, but when they looked at it, it came in as my child dependent name, which is on my lease and the application. So the rental office contacted me, said that they cannot process it because it's not in my name.
Now, Thomas says after she followed up, the city responded saying several applicants had the same issue. A spokesperson with the city says they're working on the issue and will be reaching out to Thomas's landlord. And Thomas was also told that she will have to resubmit her application. Right now, the submissions are on hold for this program due to that influx. They're trying to catch up because of the high volume of applications. So she'll have to wait until that process reopens. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time right now is 6:06. Indianapolis Public Schools is providing extra resources to help families navigate this new normal. The IPS Parent Institute offers free weekly webinars. Education and business experts discuss different topics and offer support. The next session will be held Thursday evening, and you can talk about grading and attendance. Presentation in English starts at 5 o'clock, followed by a Spanish version at 6 o'clock. Today will be the second day for school for IPS students, and we spoke to a family who says things are going smoothly for them so far. Tamara Rogers set up learning stations in the rooms of her 3 boys at their home. They each have a new desk. Tamara and her 7th grader Xavier tells WRTV that they're making the best of this situation.
I think it's going well. There was a lot of anxiety last night. We did a test run with each of the boys, each of the computers again last night, but there was no sigh of relief until we actually saw the teacher, we could hear the teacher, and we knew that things were a go.
So far, it's been good and normal. My favorite part is lunch, because in lunch, instead of having the school food and it being like a gamble on what you're gonna eat, you get to eat what your parents supply, which is great food.
We hope that you have a great school year. We know that lunch is a great subject, but I'm sure you'll do well as well in math and in science. Now this morning to the latest on COVID-19 cases across our state. The state's health department reporting 603 new cases on Monday, bringing the total now to 81,006 in Indiana. 6 new deaths were also confirmed. More than 2,900 Hoosiers have died from the virus. 914,000 people have been tested so far, with about 8.9% of them coming back positive.
And Raphael, the coronavirus is now the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States, and Texas is now the 4th state to surpass 10,000 deaths. ABC's Megan Tevrizian has the latest, including the battle to safely reopen schools.
This morning, COVID-19 is now the 3rd leading cause of death in the U.S., second only to heart disease and cancer. One of the nation's leading health experts warning now is the time to get this under control. Dr. Deborah Birx wishing the U.S. had originally shut down like Italy.
We've learned what Americans were willing to do in combating the virus.
COVID cases at nursing homes skyrocketing, up 80% since early this summer. Long-term care facilities account for more than 40% of coronavirus deaths, despite housing less than 1% of the country's population. The sudden spike fueled by new cases in the South, where the debate over schools is taking a new turn.
This return to campus is not safe. There will be people who will get sick.
At Georgia Tech, dozens protesting the decision to return to campus by staging a die-in. And just 1 week after reopening, the University of North Carolina is backpedaling, switching to remote learning after 130 students contracted the virus.
We have always said that we would respond to the situation as it evolved. The situation has changed, and we believe that taking these actions are necessary at this point.
Elementary schools in the state are also seeing an uptick in cases. This school temporarily shutting down after a cluster was linked to a faculty member. Tennessee is facing a severe shortage of teachers and support staff. 1,200 vacancies for educated-related jobs. In South Carolina, there are nearly 1,100 vacancies. And now, teachers who quit over safety concerns could be slapped with thousands of dollars in fines for backing out of their contracts.
There's also new trouble at one of the nation's largest fire departments. Chicago's Fire Academy had to close down after an outbreak. Officials saying they've had nearly 300 cases and 2 Chicago firefighters have died from the virus. Megan Tevrizian, ABC News, San Diego.
So as we know, COVID-19 is simply overwhelming, and now throw in the pending flu season to make matters worse. This morning we talk with the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, about his concerns for Hoosier families in the next several weeks.
What do we do? Do I have COVID-19 or do I have the flu? The symptoms may appear to be the same, but they're not.
We actually have the opportunity to have one of the best flu seasons we've ever had in terms of low rates and low numbers of people dying, if we do our part to lower transmission of COVID. We also have the opportunity to have a very bad flu season. And again, it comes back to Hoosiers making up their mind. I talk about my 3 W's. There's a 4th W, and that's the will. We have to have the will to do the right thing. And I'm convinced that Hoosiers will do the right thing. I'm not in D.C. anymore. I'm back in Indiana. People are practical. They want to do the right thing. And I just want to make sure we continue to give them the information and the facts to do the right thing so that we can have a safe and sustained reopening.
Dr. Adams, of course, is the former state health commissioner. He says you should get your flu shot. Talk to your doctor first, but he encourages that everyone get a flu shot this season. Next at 6:30 right here on Good Morning Indiana, why Adams is now concerned about the upcoming Labor Day weekend. But first, let's check in with Todd Clausen. Todd, will it be dry at the bus stop this morning?
It really just depends where you are, Raphael. Rain's moving through parts of central Indiana, including downtown Indianapolis right now. And this rain stretches up towards Muncie and back towards Greencastle. But it is dry in Bloomington, Nashville, Columbus, and then to the north up in the Peru area. So this band of rain will continue to make its way through the area this morning. Although the back edge is what you see there in western Indiana. We'll talk about the rain showers that are currently happening, but also a beautiful stretch of weather that's set to arrive by this afternoon coming up here when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Lauren and I welcome you back to Good Morning Indiana. And so the Rebound Indiana is showing you how groups are stepping up really to help Hoosiers, families in need in particular, and where you can get help if families are struggling to make ends meet.
And so, Raphael, back in March, I showed you how Churches in Mission down in Morgan County is a collaborative effort to help those families in need. And so I traveled back down to their Martinsville location where the need is still growing, but so is the generosity.
February, I was in here and a lot of the shelves were just sparse. And to walk in here now and see all of these freezers and to walk through the building and to see the additional shelves that have been built and the stock, the stock that is on the shelves, they are ready and prepared to meet the needs of this community.
Tracy Clendenin is a Morgantown resident with a heart for serving her community. She often works with seniors in Morgan County, a group hit particularly hard by COVID-19.
Many of them just didn't go out at all or, stayed in their homes. And Churches in Mission has allowed food to be delivered literally to the door of seniors.
In Morgan County, a rural community, the lack of transportation for some residents creates an additional hurdle for food accessibility.
For some people that live in this area, transportation is difficult. And so, finances to get out and purchase food is one hurdle.
And so the work of Churches in Mission, a collaborative effort to serve neighbors in need in Morgan County, has been working hard to meet a growing demand for food, hygiene, and utility and rental assistance.
So everything that Churches in Mission is doing is just having a profound impact on people.
Even Tracy found herself in need unexpectedly.
For me personally, I have gone through a tough time, and Churches in Mission helped me on a personal, individual level. So, changes in the economy and things that are happening are impacting people, from all walks of life.
Whether folks need help right now during these uncertain times or more long-term, Churches in Mission is working to meet the needs in several ways.
Mentoring, helping people with financial counseling, financial stewardship, helping with dietary elements of their life to be able to improve their quality of life.
Thanks to the generosity of individuals, businesses, churches, and organizations like United Way, the shelves of their Martinsville location here are fully stocked. They now have freezers and refrigerators to store perishables, all things that Executive Director David Maurer says wouldn't have been possible if the community hadn't stepped up these past few months.
It's been a game changer for us.
And he says through awareness with things like their virtual fundraiser this week, he hopes many more people will look for ways to help their neighbors.
Quite often we live in our world, we're in the world of busyness, we're doing this and that, and we forget about those that are in need. So awareness is key. The other one is then create an action plan.
And so here is how you can take action. WRTV is the exclusive media partner for Churches in Mission's virtual fundraiser this year. We are live streaming that event on our Facebook page this Thursday night at 7 p.m. You can tune in and help them raise money to serve more people during this pandemic. There's also auction items you can bid on. So for more steps on how to register and to receive that PIN number, just click on this story on WRTV.com/rebound. All right, it is time to take a turn to our forecast. Todd, we know there's some rain moving through the downtown area even right now.
Yeah, you know, it's a cooler rain. I just poked my head out the door, and you could feel a little bit of a chill out there with this rain as it is falling, as temperatures are in the 60s in many locations. Here's a live look at WRTV radar, and you can see not everybody is dealing with the rainfall. Bloomington, Greensburg, Columbus, you're dry to the north. Up in the Peru area, you're dry as well, but the rain is coming down in Muncie quite well. Pretty heavy, as fact, as you work your way into the southern portion of Delaware County there. Winchester, some rain. Richmond as well as Anderson, coming into Hamilton County, rain in Carmel as well as Noblesville, and then a heavier downpours just now making its way into Indianapolis. I'll go in a little bit closer and show you where this heavier rain's making its way from Indianapolis, really right along I-65 as you make your way up towards Pike Township there, where 65 and 465 come together, and then up as you work your way into the Traders Point area and into Zionsville, some heavier rain is taking place, and it's all moving through fairly quickly. The back edge of the rain is now in western Indiana, so we're only going to be dealing with it for probably another couple hours. It's making its way from west to east across the area, maybe drifting a little bit to the south. So even places like Greensburg, you may get clipped with some showers here eventually. But overall, the trend will be for rain to decrease over the next couple hours. The clouds will move out as we work our way into the noon hour. And then by this evening, we're talking about great weather that'll be in place all across the area. Temperatures are in the 60s right now, 66 in Indy, 67 in Bloomington, 63 with the clearer skies to the north in the Peru area. And as we work our way throughout the day, today temperatures will hold pretty steady here this morning with the clouds and the showers in place. But as we work our way into the afternoon hours and we thin the clouds for some sunshine, temperatures will eventually get up into the upper 70s, and with the sunshine and lower humidity, it'll really be very comfortable out there. And then with clear skies overnight tonight, look at these temperatures you wake up to tomorrow morning. By this time tomorrow, we'll be talking about low 50s to the north, mid 50s to the south. Wouldn't be shocked in the coming days that we get a few 40s in here for overnight lows. But each day, even though it's going to be a cooler start, with the sunshine, will warm up very quickly. And look at tomorrow. It's probably the best day of the week with sunny skies, a high temperature of 80 degrees. Thursday, though, is great as well, starting at 56, going up to 82. Then it's warmer, a little more humid for the weekend with the chance of just an isolated storm or two, it looks like, on race day. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are monitoring traffic right now through the downtown area, I-65 and St. Clair Street. You can see a stalled vehicle there and rain coming down pretty hard. We can hear it outside of the studio right now. So just use caution if this is part of your commute. Visibility may be reduced due to the heavy rain showers right now. Watch for any ponding on the roads as well. The good news right now, I'm not monitoring any major crashes or delays to slow you down, but of course we'll keep our eyes on your roads throughout the morning and keep you updated. Raphael.
So, Lauren, in sports, the Pacers playoff series against the Heat tips off tonight in Orlando. The blue and gold technically have the home court advantage, but as you know, all the games are being played in the bubble. And unfortunately, a major NBA event at Bankers Life Fieldhouse will likely not happen as scheduled. A league spokesperson says that next year's All-Star game is unlikely to take place in Indianapolis over President's Day weekend as originally planned. They say things could change because of unknowns around the NBA restart.
Well, after being closed for months because of COVID-19, movie theaters are ready to start reopening this week. The special movie deals you can take advantage of coming up so you don't waste your money.
And so, Lauren, I have an idea for the WRTV living room here in Johnson County. You see, Dancing with the Stars pros Emma and Sasha transforming their home into a dance floor. Coming up on Good Morning America, they are live with the big announcement and details on which pros will be joining them on this upcoming season. Let's cha-cha outside this morning. Good morning to McCordsville, Marion, and Muncie, all great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday, right here on WRTV.
The time right now is 6:25. Raphael, it's time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So, Lauren, you are an amazing lady, but I want to talk about an amazing historical lady because 100 years ago, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified, granting women the right to vote. Now, to celebrate that landmark, Wickham Farms in Penfield, New York, created a 4-acre Susan B. Anthony-themed corn maze. Check that out. Anthony, who is buried in nearby Rochester, devoted her life to the women's suffrage movement. I guess we don't have the corn. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm on an 8-second delay, so sometimes I can't see the video you're seeing. Now check that out.
Yeah,
8 seconds ago. That's simply amazing.
Yes. So Raphael, 2 sons, turned their love of literature into a legacy for their father. When Jeff Wolf was hospitalized with COVID-19, his sons, Nikki and Sam, decided to load an e-reader with Pride and Prejudice so that their unconscious father could hear his favorite book. The brothers ended up launching a project called Books for Dad, and they plan to distribute 5,000 e-readers to British hospitals over the next 6 months.
Wow.
A great idea.
Okay, that is a great idea. And a big congratulations to Mario Rodriguez. Mario is today's hometown hero. He's the executive director at the Indianapolis International Airport. The Sagamore of the Wabash winner, which is a great honor here in Indiana, is also, and his co-workers, they continue to keep the airport, which is the transportation gateway to the state, in operation during this pandemic. And they've also won several awards for their continuous efforts. Congrats to all of those folks there at the airport. Now time to check your forecast. It is a wet one, depending, Todd Clausen, on where you live this morning, because it's dry here in Johnson County.
Yeah, dry in Johnson County by you, Raphael, but raining pretty good here in Marion County right now with some heavier rain. It's moving through the heart of Indianapolis, and then that rain extends to the north as well, up towards Muncie and into Hamilton County. And you can see all this on Storm Team 6 radar, or WRTV radar here, rather. As you look at to Noblesville, Carmel, Indianapolis, we're dealing with some heavier downpours. Muncie as well. No lightning here, though. That is the good news. It's just kind of a cooler rain. The back edge of it is back to the west from Lafayette to Crawfordsville, so this will move through fairly quickly here this morning, and that's the good news. Eventually, by this afternoon, the sun is out. Once we get into that sunshine, it's going to be a beautiful stretch of weather that's going to take us all the way into race weekend. More on that coming up in just a little bit. The time now is 6:28. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, in case you've missed going to the movie theaters, a lot of us have this summer, you won't have to wait much longer. The nation's largest chain, AMC Theaters, is opening this week with a special deal. Our consumer reporter John Matarese explains.
If you've really missed the experience of going to a movie this year, you are in luck. AMC Theaters is reopening more than half of its movie houses this Thursday. The nation's largest movie theater chain will celebrate its August 20th reopening with a special deal. Tickets for just 15 cents each on its first day. The chain says that's what it charged when it was founded back in 1920. After the reopening day, tickets will cost just $5 to see classics like Black Panther, Back to the Future, and Star Wars. After all, there are no new films to show right now. AMC says it will be safe. Masks will be required. It will not book seats next to yours, and it will fill just 30% of seats to start with. Of course, the big question is whether moviegoers will want to return to theaters with no COVID vaccine available yet. We'll know the answer to that question in a week or two. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good Morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And now on Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Indiana conservation officers have identified the 3 people who died in Lake Monroe on Saturday. They're 67-year-old Estela Huerta, a 31-year-old Alejandro Hernandez Huerta, and a juvenile. All 3 were from Lawrence. Investigators say witnesses saw a vehicle drive down the Paintown State Recreation Area boat ramp and entered the water. The accident remains under investigation.
Police are asking for the public's help tracking down a possible witness to the police shooting death of Drajon Reed. Investigators want to talk to anyone who was in this SUV. It was spotted near 62nd Street and Michigan Road on the day of the shooting, May 6th. IMPD says that there was an exchange of gunfire between an officer and Reed, leaving Reed dead. If you think you've seen this vehicle or you know who's driving it, please call State Police. Their number is 765-778-2121.
Indianapolis city leaders continuing their efforts to curb crime. Today, a third round of violence reduction grants will be handed out as part of the city's community-focused public safety strategy. This program directs $300,000 to grassroots organizations that provide violence prevention, programming, and wraparound services in Indianapolis neighborhoods. This year's grants recipients will be announced later this morning at 10.
The COVID-19 pandemic has claimed another festival, and this is a big one. The Park County Covered Bridge Festival that was set for October has been canceled. The Park County Commission said they had no choice but to protect the health and safety of visitors. The commission still encourages you to pay a visit to the county west of Indianapolis, as their 31 covered bridges will certainly still be there. Here at 6:31, we want to thank you for starting your day with us here on WRTV and Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County. I know you're farther south from us, but it is raining hard here through downtown. I don't know if you can hear it down there.
Yes, so I just stepped outside. It had rained earlier this morning. It may be raining north of here in Greenwood, Todd Clausen, but depending on where you are this morning, you may need that umbrella at the school bus stop.
Yeah, you know, especially as Lauren mentioned, downtown Indianapolis, north of Indy, up into Hamilton County, then into the Muncie area. Some pretty good rain is falling right now. So let's go over to WRTV radar right now, and we'll show you exactly where this rain is falling. The good news is no lightning here. This is just some plain old rain that's making its way through the area, but it's coming down quite heavy in spots. As we go into the Muncie area, you can see the heavier rain there. Noblesville, Carmel, Fortville, Pendleton dealing with some pretty good rain. And then as we make our way off towards the west here, Bainbridge to Greencastle, some showers. And then here's the heavier rainfall making its way through Indianapolis right now. Beech Grove is where some of the heaviest of the rain is currently falling, at least in Marion County. But the good news is this rain will move through fairly quick this morning. The clouds will linger a little bit longer into the middle half of the morning. But by this afternoon, we should thin the clouds out for partly cloudy skies. The humidity drops behind this rain as well. And it's going to be a really, really nice evening. Your 5 p.m. temperature right around 78 degrees. Tomorrow and Thursday are two terrific days. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks. And here's a look at the rain coming down right now. This is our camera north of the downtown area, I-65 here at 30th Street. You can see wet roads out that way. Traffic is traveling up to speed and picking up, as you can see, both northbound and southbound. No major issues or crashes to slow you down. So it's great news if you're heading out the door early on this Tuesday. So the moratorium on evictions is over, which means thousands of people right here in Indianapolis are looking for help to pay their rent.
And Lauren, as you know, many people applied for financial assistance in Marion County, but now some people are reporting having issues with the program. Alyssa Donovan has been working the story all morning long. She joins us live this morning with the details. Alyssa, good morning to you.
Good morning. And one woman reached out to WRTV telling us that her application could not be processed due to an issue that was out of her control. Kimberly Thomas is one of thousands of people who have applied for the rental assistance program. Additional funding has been allocated to assist residents who are having trouble making ends meet due to the pandemic. More than 10,000 people applied for the program in just the first 3 days. And now that the moratorium on evictions has ended, those applicants are anxiously awaiting their payout. Thomas filled out her application and encountered a roadblock when she reached out to her landlord to complete the process.
They tried to go in and process it, but when they looked at it, it came in as my child dependent name, which is on my lease and the application. So the rental office contacted me, said that they cannot process it because it's not in my name.
Thomas says she now has to wait to receive assistance. When she reached out to the city, she says she was told others had the issue too, and she would need to resubmit the application when the process reopens. And WRTV also reached out to the city. They say they are working a workaround for this issue. They are aware of it, and they are going to be reaching out to Thomas's landlord directly. Reporting live, I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Alyssa, thank you. So one organization is stepping up to help families juggle the additional challenges created by e-learning. The Mind Trust is partnering with neighborhood centers across the city to create these community learning sites. The program kicked off on Monday at the Edna Martin Christian Center that's in the Martindale-Brightwood area on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Special facilitators help support and guide the students. The program is designed for families who may not be able to stay home with their kids.
I feel safe knowing that if I have to go and be away from him, that he's getting what he needs without me having to worry about him lagging behind.
I think that we've heard a lot about higher income families moving quickly to come up with creative solutions for their kids, and that's fine. But as a city, we have to make sure that we're supporting many of our families who are less privileged.
And the Mind Trust is investing $200,000 into this program. It is free and it's currently operating at 11 locations across our city. Facilitators are being hired to work at those sites as well. So for more information on how you can apply for a job or to sign up for the program, just go to WRTV.com. And we'll learn at noon today whether COVID-19 cases are still high in Indiana or if yesterday's drop could be the beginning of a downward trend. 6 new deaths were reported on Monday. That's 3 more than were reported on Sunday. Since the pandemic began, 2,926 people in Indiana have died from the coronavirus. 603 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported. That is a drop from the numbers over the weekend. However, the reported numbers have typically been lower on Monday due to a lag in reporting from local health departments. Raphael?
Lauren, we are less than 3 weeks away from the Labor Day weekend, and there's really a big concern that the national holiday may lead to another spike in COVID-19 cases, as we saw after the 4th of July weekend. Here's U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams in our one-on-one Zoom interview on WRTV.
There's a concern for a spike. Are you concerned at all? And what is your message as we head into that weekend in a couple of weeks?
I'm absolutely concerned, and when I talk to the state and the local health departments here in Indiana, they tell me much of the spread is occurring at family gatherings, at picnics, at weddings, at cookouts. And so I want people to know that we can contain and control this virus with the 3 simple measures I mentioned, and the proof of that is New York, hardest hit place in the world. They now have a positivity rate under 1%. They didn't get a vaccine. They don't have a miracle therapeutic. They did it with washing their hands, wearing a face mask, and watching their distance.
Adams believes that a vaccine could be available by the end of this year. You may have noticed all the corn behind Dr. Adams during our interview. Well, he was talking to us while he visited his in-laws in northeastern Indiana in Adams County.
Raphael, thank you. The University of Notre Dame says that it is seeing a spike in cases on campus. Nearly 12,000 students there were tested before they were allowed on campus. Only 33 tested positive. Well, since school started on August 3rd, 58 more cases have been confirmed. The university says many of those cases are connected to an off-campus party where social distancing was not practiced and masks were not worn. University spokesperson says they believe that they can still get this spread under control without having to cancel classes and send students home. Well, after only 1 week of classes, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill will shift all undergrad classes online starting tomorrow. The university identified 4 separate COVID-19 clusters on campus. Now more than 130 students have tested positive, and the university says that many underestimated the actual number of student cases. Videos from parties held at North Carolina and several other colleges around the country have shown students not engaging in social distancing or wearing masks.
They're not gathering in person, as you know, but they did extend the hand of bipartisanship virtually. Next, a look back at the first night of the Democratic National Convention. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday right here on WRTV. Lauren and I welcome you back to Good Morning Indiana. Now to Democracy 2020. The Democratic National Convention is now underway. This is the second night for that convention, but it looks a lot different, Lauren, than any other convention that we've seen before.
And that's because, Raphael, that convention is being produced virtually all around the country because of the pandemic. ABC's Inez De La Cotera tells us that Democrats made the first night of their convention a bipartisan affair.
Overnight, a Democratic National Convention like no other. Former First Lady Michelle Obama giving the keynote address, like the rest of the DNC, virtually.
If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can and they will if we don't make a change in this election.
The former First Lady urgently warning.
We have got to vote for Joe Biden like our lives depend on it.
Democrats challenged to capture the enthusiasm and party unity without a crowd. Headliners included leaders in the fight against COVID-19.
Now we need a leader as good as our people. A leader who appeals to the best within us, not the worst.
To Kristen Urquiza, a woman whose father died from the virus.
His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid with his life.
And they ranged from across the ideological spectrum, from self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders.
We must come together, defeat Donald Trump, and elect Joe Biden.
To former Ohio governor and conservative Republican John Kasich.
I'm proud of my Republican heritage, but what I have witnessed these past 4 years belies those principles.
The Democrats also inviting 3 Republican women to speak who all endorsed Joe Biden for president.
This isn't about a Republican or Democrat. It's about a person.
This, as President Trump tried to change the channel with some counter-programming in the key swing states of Minnesota and Wisconsin.
They're making speeches that are taped. Who wants to listen to Michelle Obama do a taped speech? No, you got to have her get up there.
Joe Biden will accept his party's nomination later this week from Wilmington, Delaware. Republicans will hold their convention next week. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Washington.
So in Washington, House lawmakers are returning back to work early. They're being called back into session to deal with cuts being made to the Postal Service. As you know, the president continues to criticize mail-in voting. As we look at this, the cost-cutting measures were made by the new Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. DeJoy is also a major donor to the president's campaign and owns millions of dollars in stock in Postal Service competitors. The cuts are causing mail delays that could impact more than ballots. Some Americans say they're being forced to wait longer for life-saving medications.
We have to pay for her prescriptions and then file for reimbursement. $11,000, $12,000 is a lot of money to have outstanding on a credit card.
The president has somewhat reversed course and now says that he's open to additional funding for the Postal Service, but he still claims without evidence that expanding mail-in voting could lead to voter fraud. Both the president and the vice president, by the way, they vote by mail.
We know times are changing, and Indigo wants you to reach out for something new. Next, we'll tell you about a meeting where they'll try to guide you to the Purple Line. Todd.
And Lauren, some areas dealing with rainfall this morning across central Indiana, and where it is raining, it's coming down quite heavy in spots. The heaviest of the rain just now making its way out of downtown Indianapolis towards the Geist area, Warren Township into the Greenfield area. These showers will continue to make their way through the area during the course of the next couple hours. And then by this afternoon, we're talking about sunshine. It really improves the forecast that is going forward throughout this Tuesday. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Today you can learn the very latest on the proposed Purple Line bus project. This is Indigo's second rapid transit bus line. The first, of course, being the Red Line, but the proposed Purple Line would connect Lawrence on the city's northeast side all the way down to downtown Indianapolis. A virtual public meeting will be held at 5:30 this evening. You can find a link with more information in this story on our website, WRTV.com. Construction on the proposed Purple Line is expected to begin sometime next year.
So, Raphael, while several traditions at the track aren't going to happen this year, one is set to go on. The Air Force Thunderbirds will perform their pre-race flyover. America's ambassadors in blue will fly in their signature Delta formation over IMS. Thunderbirds typically perform hour-long aerial demonstrations at an air show across the country, but most of their performances have been canceled this year due to the coronavirus. Instead, the team worked with the U.S. Navy Blue Angels to do flyovers in several cities, including right here in Indianapolis, to celebrate frontline workers. The green flag for the 104th running of the Indy 500 is set for 2:30 p.m. Again, that is on Sunday. And I remember when they did the flyover, it got postponed a little bit due to the weather, I think. And Todd, hopefully you have good weather for this Sunday.
Yeah, you know, it's looking decent for Sunday. I think there's probably about a 20% chance of an isolated thunderstorm across central Indiana as we get into Sunday. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures that will be in the mid-80s by the weekend. Today, though, we're dealing with some rain this morning. This afternoon, the clouds will decrease. It becomes partly cloudy, and then this evening, it's near perfect out there. More on that in just a second, but there's the Drury view this morning from downtown to the north. Temperatures in the 60s with this rain that continues to fall across parts of the area, although the heaviest of the rain is starting to shift off towards the east. That's where we'll begin. Muncie over towards the Lynn area, just south of Winchester there, and into Richmond, we're dealing with some rain showers. As we come into the metro area, some heavier rain near Danville, and then over into the Geist and Castleton area, some heavier rain there. Lawrence and Warren Township, Fortville up into Noblesville, in the LaPel and Anderson area, some heavier rain showers. And then as we come into Johnson County, Greenwood, some decent rains falling there. A little further south, just some light showers in Franklin. And those of you in southern locations, you haven't really gotten to much of the way of rainfall here this morning. There's one little shower flaring up near the Bloomington area currently. So this rain will continue to work its way through the area. It's definitely a little unsettled the next couple hours, but once this rain moves out, the clouds will depart shortly after, and then we'll get into plenty of sunshine here later on this afternoon, as you see there on TrueCast. So be patient here this morning for first the rain to end, and then the clouds to thin out. Partly cloudy skies by the noon hour, and then mostly sunny skies later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. And look at those temperatures. Very, very comfortable. Highs in the upper 70s later on today. This evening, as I mentioned, terrific. We're in the mid 70s by 8 p.m. with mainly clear skies. And then for the day tomorrow, we all wake up tomorrow morning to temperatures that will be in the 50s. We get off to that great start. We'll warm to 60 degrees by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Highs tomorrow right around 80 degrees with that sunshine. Thursday starting in the 50s, warming to 82. Even Friday morning as we get up to 85 degrees, we'll still be in the 50s. And then there's that weekend forecast, mid 80s Saturday and Sunday for the Indy 500. Again, just about a 20% chance of maybe a spot storm. And then Monday, mostly sunny and a high temperature. That'll be right around 84 degrees. The time now is 6:52. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:55 on your Tuesday, and we're monitoring some rain showers coming down as you're heading to work or school this morning, so plan ahead. This is a live look on the east side at I-70 and Arlington Avenue. Wet roads out there, and traffic's picking up both eastbound and westbound. No issues to slow you down.
So, Lauren, when you think of the penguin, you usually think of the fuzzy bird just waddling through snow or swimming in frigid Antarctic waters, but penguins did not originate in Antarctica, as scientists have believed for years. New research from the University of California at Berkeley shows that they first evolved in Australia and New Zealand. The penguin first appeared about 22 million years ago. Now, the study suggests that the ancestors of the emperor penguin split from the species and moved to Antarctic waters because of the abundant supply of food at the time. More penguins made the move when a body of water between Antarctica and South America fully opened up 12 million years ago. I'm a big fan of the penguins. They're always wearing a tuxedo. I'm about the same height as the penguin, and we both like cool temperatures. So I'm all in for the penguin exhibit there at the Indianapolis Zoo. Please visit the zoo. It's a great place to be.
Yeah,
That's
Raphael, the penguins are probably going to say, it's pretty comfortable out here this week, Todd. Things are cooling down for August.
You know, especially in the morning hours, we have a bunch of 50-degree mornings heading our way. This morning, we're in the 60s. It's kind of a rain-cooled air mass that we're dealing with this morning as these showers are making their way through the area. But here's the next couple days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starting off in the 50s, warming into the low to mid 80s with all that sunshine. And then as we get into race weekend, just about a 20% chance of an isolated storm. I mentioned the rain that's out there. I'll give you a quick look at Storm Team 6 radar here, and you can see that we're dealing with this rainfall making its way through the area. We'll deal with this throughout the morning, but by this afternoon, we're looking at plenty of sunshine in this forecast, Lauren, and temperatures that will be in the 70s. So just be a little bit patient here once again and we'll get that sunshine in here and then keep it around as we work our way into the coming days.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with your news, weather, and traffic updates. All your news can be found throughout the day on the WRTV mobile app. Thanks for joining us. Stay dry out there this morning.